Yes, Enuanum TVGH, Yasatana Sibi, Yankupon Shirao, na onyo kese. And your first time I wish you paid you ya. Ahana ya santi kot konsemani ya de bro didi. Nese fata soti frada clubs na suyensuno. Ya de bro, ema unyabiti. Anase shen tunyan subscribe to the page. Mesra use subscription button of ansaboso. Na subscribe my subscribe ye free yente. Tabi the videos to my subenya biashe e page ne so. Purely asante Kotoko nsemidin Ed Steven Tonado apia Nyankopon Shirao na onyo kesese waji page no atumu ewo ehonom yebedin komo ewo asante Kotoko boboko na so the Tinkler man, the man of the moment, Eric the Tinkler, the master tactician. Menya sempe. Me say the master tactician, Eric Tinkler. Wakasa. Where full interview. Na said ye omon veli no de tu dwano kra de na ye mpopo ho. Na nsema Eric Tinkler aka ne hane enuoma wodi amaye no. Ye ba be breaking it down. Na wanya bi atie. Full video no full interview no eda Asante Kotoko YouTube channel ubetimi akwa akohwe bi ba ha ne ye ba be breaking nsem down osi Asante Kotoko boboko ni sesi e wa no ada osi Asante Kotoko eye sleeping giant ene e wo so ma Asante Kotoko no eye live giant I was a sleeping giant no sorry I wasn't a niban hoso. Me say Eric Tinkler chere and football philosophy. The last time we bachelor how an tactics formation ACTA philosophy nko ena your friend say system and answer tactics and so enko. So ati asiye ye wo philosophy ye mfanze tiki taka. So ati asiye ene ye bi mfanze formation no eye ubo 4-2-3-1. So tactics no e different ene wachire ye ne philosophy ene what we should expect from ono eye the Tinkler man enti ene ye be breaking nsem down. And honestly speaking, an experienced coach is an experienced coach. On the last and solid year reporter, no book coach, and about to say no ma wo you don't need to wait. Say season, never chance, and son was okay. Coaching in mini business, you can easily judge from a year the interviews. Because the Chelsea announced say, "Unimzo ko England Timmy appointed coach our first interview media houses and as and some churefo a year England assessy omutimi uze the first interview no mu ye who review not about one seminar omutimi who posture how you answered some questions any questions be kwem fast no ma judge there be the way osi answer questions we the season is see pressure beba ne so enti ne ye ne me say board no dia brochera bagana yenso yebe ya brofo no nyomenti no ono ase football no evolve se football evolve dia any everything around Asante Kotoko should evolve. Everything around Asante Kotoko must and should evolve. The Tinkler man Unya register to Fabu Sensors na dial *920*99 shana say www.fabusensors.com www.fabusensors.com Opa Asante Kotoko pre-season update ni nyina nso ni nyina gu Anuanum TVGH so ati ase ye bo djuma solidino de bia no okohonom ye bompa ye hopi say team no ba bi omu beko akwa ye pre-season on say after this month na 31st no be free Ghana baby on be kwa ye pre me say on be free Ghana on be free Kumasi baby on be kwa ye pre-season and we are planning to go there and if you have any support any little support ebi out the Accra na ube owo Accra na wo no de wo some a mini room bi wo hono ma o de be support ya ne abe cover Asante Kotoko pre-season na ebia anything that you ubetimi they are my ubetimi they are support ya ne so yakọ cover Asante Kotoko pre-season no me number no na etwa mo screen as 0249 43 37 93 0249 4337 93 bia audio beka se tornado me metal power bank e de amamo ntimi o power bank wa hakoje so ati ase anase ni nyina no Nyankopon be hira na ye nyina yem project Asante Kotoko no ene tinkla ka asem bi ne ba beka ye ne be metim na ya akono ye nti sometimes ye katim na asem amoma yenka ebi abekwa kutie radio sports obekwa kutie TV sports omo ne nyina yesu ade firi omo but omo no they won't dedicate all their time for club no ba ye ne betena na some negative stories no ye kataso because ye mpese team no ye pese team ne ya akono so until that is our responsibility, that is our job. Yengure muna yemfa the Tinkler man ni interview no emfa embremu. First of all, yebisa Eric Tinkler about the impression so far. When some of the interview nyina na mitimi de cover by the D na sefata so tifre wote no na chese me de ebro no. Yebisa Eric Tinkler about the impression about Asante Kotoko Boboko no so far. Ma me fa sa se we ntudwa se hey board no mani abre rough udim say baby a oti a oye interview onzo tumfo se tutu baby no bo kire no ndi say ebia wo hu a normally no dim say bia eye kumase but I am told say board no agi Asante Kotoko office ewo Accra residential area. I am told say eni Asante Kotoko office minim say na wo hodada dia but I am not sure. Inti sa unveiling no any interview any nyina no eko so ewo Accra airport residential area. Inti Kotoko ha anya office ho eho na interview no ye dey eko so ni unveiling ni ade na nsakura no mode ni ye dey omode ne babu omode ne babe pie kumase no mutino yentie about so fo be pie mo Asante Kotoko no ni impression is say no sibi hu Asante Kotoko Boboku.
I think my background is, as you said, I played as a defensive midfielder, but I was a massive fan of
my wrong voice, Debbie. Enyewe na mebo no. Enyewe we never say mebo.
Impression of the club so far, and how are you excited about this project?
Yeah, obviously I've known Asante Kotoko for a long time, especially as a coach, because the clubs that I coached and when we were in the CAF competitions, you always feared to get Asante Kotoko. You didn't want to play Asante Kotoko because you know the quality and the talent that comes out of the Ghanaian league is really massive. Truthfully, I wasn't a full-time follower of the club, but over the years, obviously, the club, which is a massive African giant club, is a club with a lot of history in African football, has kindly slipped down the table. Now, to see that happen to a club of this nature and this stature is obviously massively disappointing. And obviously, they come off the back of what would be regarded as a very poor season, having finished 8th in the league. So, coming to the club, I know the pressure that is obviously going to be under me because, we need to achieve, we need to win things, we need to get this club back to where it belongs. We don't want to be calling it a sleeping giant, we want to be calling it a giant again. And we want to be competing at the highest level. And that is me as a coach. I want to compete.
All right, Tentiano, I Tinkler no ebisan about said you to be who Asante Kotoko Boboku. Then was say on wa follow Asante Kotoko Boboku na che. And when must Asante Kotoko Boboku no, especially since I obey a coach. Now was say obey a coach in na clubs our coach a omo Africa Empire or one say omo emmiti Asante Kotoko boboko ni because onim how quality any how top a club Asante Kotoko any talent e wo Ghana hanom aya na Asante Kotoko ye dey edeba Africa into ono ni team bia wo coach bia no se okọ Africa clubs anu osuro wo mo no ebi crop ya Asante Kotoko ba de ne ya ye ka se Kotoko no akohye table ase ada enipa dodo na efra Asante Kotoko sleeping giant ba wono ba wa ba no omo but and or say disappointing so atiase say a club like Asante Kotoko ye beka so mu ye sleeping giant enei eyomo ni so ade hunu ene na ni so ade no ne target say enei yemfra Asante Kotoko as a sleeping giant biem na emom ye be fra Asante Kotoko as giant in Africa. So ni nyina ne se o se beboa ama Asante Kotoko boboko na yedey esini dadem na o masa compete ewo Africa enti oba ye ne no mo abehunu no no kure Asante Kotoko sleeping giant but the nei oba ama Asante Kotoko no asaba be fanen mapa efra ye wieye ena omusa bisa no about ne philosophy say one kasa no say na football no esitie ubo defensive ubo counter attacking football ubo no bono etese yenti Tinklerman.
I think my background is, as you said, I played as a defensive midfielder, but I was a massive fan of Dutch football, Dutch playing philosophy, a massive fan of Spanish football, especially Barcelona was a team that I supported since the age of 10. They are my favorite club. And I think what is more important right now is putting the tiki-taka aside and the total football that you get from the KNVB. The game has evolved and has moved on, and as a coach, I need to have a little bit of diversity in terms of how I want the team to play. And if there's one thing my career has helped me with, is that I'm actually a good tactician. I know systems, I know formations, I can adapt. And as I stated before, the game has evolved, and as coaches, we need to think deeper. We need to have more than just a plan A. We must have a plan B, plan C. And at this level, good teams and great teams need to find a way to win. Now, the demand of the modern game is winning, but at the same time, what I don't want my team to do is forget the other side of the game, which is entertainment. It's what draws the spectators and the fans to stadiums. So I obviously want to see my team still play entertaining football, but know that at the end of the day, we are judged on whether we won or lost. But I think that's a key factor.
Alright, Tentiano, Eric Tinklerman no about any philosophy. Was it or no time I know see a kind na oye defensive midfielder. DM baby a prince bedumu bonibi. Name mono woye a follower of Dutch football, which is the total football, and was a follower of Spanish football. Not just say or see or no woye fan of Barcelona into no oye tiki taka and where they and wobo but ne football no evolve or say football evolve. Untimi nka say me bo tiki taka style of football, me bo total football, me bo say or see the most important thing kwan a obefa so ayedai age win kwan a obefa so win at the end of the day. No, that is the most important thing. Or see ni nyina mu no ade ba ko a every club will be kobiano or se besi na ni remfida the entertainment aspect, the entertainment side of football. On that football, we go to stadium to entertain. A football grow until we go there to entertain ourselves. But sometimes obeko stadium boy with team nebo no omo wini pa ba waninye over the years ye hu bia team na wini pa ba team say boy you mu wini here there anko ye ba ye game bi wono ma wa team ko hwe team say team resource na anko se de penny there, but they entertain you. Until right now we are going to see Asante Kotoko obo passes together obo pa go baby e was a Kotoko defending no obe defending baby e was on counter pressing no on be counter and say counter attack no on be counter baby e was on beam no on be beam but or say they won't forget the entertainment side of football and the one thing as Asante Kotoko supporter I was all the show next season Kotoko will play a lot of entertainment games and as an entertaining game and America Eric Tinkler Eneka we will play a lot of entertaining game until chain then but what can you know and was it the most important part at the end of the day no how to get the resource but all per resource no na eno nkyere se wokobo ball and we coaching so with me adapting to what be ye Ghana football no the way Ghana football ni city no eno eno ba behwe ho e dia abo game onka se ono no obo total football obo tiki taka ntinchi na wo obo tiki taka e wo Brekum Golden City Park ewo ni kraku ni aje kraku sports complex no okobo tiki taka debi eno de enye adwuma but obema entertaining football ewo honum ye ene ebisa say wa ba pressure na de ewom ekwan be so na odi Asante Kotoko boboku no ebeboa na at least the league kurana FA Cup na ye pese ye no yetimi age yentie coach Tinkler on competing for FA Cup and the league.
Because obviously that we make this not a sleeping giant but a live giant, you know, that the whole continent sees us again. And obviously I want to see the club in a year's time back in CAF competitions, playing at the highest level. And
my wrong voice. Okay, we know about ni legacy. The old boy okay legacy. Dear Ben opese okwa yemfa nkai no edie ben obeja to obeji ni dwumadie no enso a edie ben obeya ono obeko no yebeka se okay ubo Eric Tinkler din a na bibise na o kai no eye with Asante Kotoko dwumadie na no no okasa
at the club in terms of the various age groups that the club possesses, from the first team down to the youth system. I would like to see young players coming through the system. And obviously I want to see the club again lift the trophy, because that's the most important factor.
Alright, enti wose ono no opese ade baako a okwaye opese obeye de to a okwaye de be kai ne pa ne se ni obema Asante Kotoko abe live giant. Also wadinka aka say ni Kotoko ni sleeping giant, but indeed no opese o my live giant ne opese Asante Kotoko no ese gina eye ne nan so biem. Opese Asante Kotoko sa compete wa Africa ni biem. Ono no after aside ni nyina no opese ene enkwara no youth team no o develop wo mo na omunya pathway to the senior team no. Na the most important thing no winning the trophy into okwa then Tinkler utimi we nyina de ne oye legend oye legend ye compete with Africa ye G League ye GFA Cup every year be a Kotoko supporters celebrate kwa Africa matches either Champions League or Confederations Cup oye legend club no enti no ene nsema de two dwa yentie no on koye obefa so winning FA Cup, competing for FA Cup in the league title.
I think massive. We've got to remember that this is a big club. It's a big name, and for that reason alone, teams fear us. So we go into games with an advantage. But now it's about us taking advantage of that. And I think this coming season, with our planning, with our preparation, with our professionalism, good work ethic, nothing stops us from achieving our goals. Only ourselves. Yep. So I see a bright future.
Great. All right, Bisano, say this season, Yansha ni muso be compete for the league, no ne FA Cup nana. And we say Asante Kotoko no big club so ati ase big club nti no as a big club no bia ne kobo match a oti din Asante Kotoko na usuru eno de think la monka no krenchen ze Kotoko han clubs ni usuru yibiemu monka no krenchere no ze Kotoko no clubs ngeto no usuru yibiemu okromia no endo wase Kotoko no big club team bia ne bebo a ehu ye dai eto omo so na de aka ne se omo no ebe take advantage of sa ehu na eto players anase eto sa club no ye dai eso na omo team ye dai etimia perform na this season bibia no no betimi stop ya Asante Kotoko from achieving big season eba be room just wo man kasa ene betimi a stop you omo say bia ombe kwa koye no ma sabi basa bi na ba be stop omo progress no Sante sade bibia no no be stop ya Asante Kotoko boboku no into this season another season eba be simu ye be hu bright future. I say there's going to be a bright future. Yen find the message to Asante Kotoko supporters no in chat to na yen sorry somre no kone enokra eni hear me message be na odema Asante Kotoko Eric Tinkler.
To the fans is that a great fan and a true fan is a fan who is there with the team through the good and the bad. And I know that through the bad there becomes massive disappointment and disbelief in the team. But for this team to grow and get back to those heights, they need the 12th man, and that's the fans. So the fans this season especially need to come out in their numbers, support the team. What would be great is that we can fill that stadium for every home game. Because imagine if we can win every home game. That in itself will put us at the top of the league, without a shadow of doubt. The target would be to make sure that we are unbeatable at home as a team, but we are unbeatable at home with our fans. So that's the message I want to send to them. Come and support us, especially at home. I know traveling can be a complication, but at home, come in your numbers, support the players because the response will be there.
All right, I say a true supporter. Any ubia club no ekwa ahohiahia mu kra wo support club no. A true supporter eni obi o support club no ewo difficult moment mu. Enti this year Asante Kotoko supporters no sreye yemra park yeme support wo mo. O say wonim se Ghana hanom no akwantu owu tu kwan akọ support club no very difficult there, but playing at home near bo fie ne de was see a buy na one numbers near be support to mo say ono ne target with the rest season mu ne say on lose a home game. Na wan lose home game no win matches ni nyina eno kra de ne da league ne top na mom so betimi achieve sa de na eje say yen Kotoko supporters no yen so ye ba park ne ye ba be support no ne be ye 12 men enye sa ade no wontimi achieve enti yembra ne yeme support wo mo whether rain or shine edru die dina yenchi omo up enti nyese ye ba be season ase ne yakasa saa na board yedai afi ye first match ye kobo no baba yare ye be ko ni 300 400 ne yetewo eno de yesa entwa yi enti we Eric Tinkler ni full interview breakdown na chese ye de ama una enye asem ketua kro nyankopon hyirawo na onyo kese.